The American Sim Racing Club, home of the fastest growing fixed setup league on the server, the Dirt Pro Late Model Series, presented by Horsepower Happenings. Every Sunday night on the Turn 3 Racing Network, watch the server's best battle for more than 50 laps at some of the nation's most grueling tracks. From the Bristol Dirt to the Charlotte Dirt Track, Kern County to Fairbury, over 24 drivers a week put it on the line for a shot at over $600 in the championship points fund. Join us every Sunday night at 9:30 for the ASRC Dirt Pro Late Model Series on the Turn 3 Racing Network.
Good afternoon, race fans, and welcome to the show. It is yours truly, Brett the Jet, on the mic here, presenting you the racing action here tonight for race number 5 of the American Sim Racing Club Pro Late Models. Tonight, the drivers take on one of the shortest tracks on the schedule. We head to the very short but high banked, especially on that top side, track of Fairbury. We have a great show ahead of us, folks. 25 cars so far on the property to try and make the 22 car field here in just now less than a minute. We will head on over to our group qualifying and see who walks away with tonight's quick time from race number 5. Of course, something to keep an eye on here. Previous winners not here. Mason Cassidy picking up win number 1 of the season at Dirt Bristol. Then Richard Murtaugh going 3 in a row. Neither of those drivers here. Murtaugh at the Summer Nationals, or the Fall Nationals, excuse me, right now. So a lot to be had. We will crown a new winner for this season. Who will it be? Will Nick Baum get the job done? Can Trevor Mattingly find his way back up to a spot he knew very well last season? Or will we get a different winner? We will have to try and find out here, as of course, 3-lap group qualifying, then 8-lap heat races, top 4 inverted, top 4 make it straight to the show. Then we will have our last chance qualifier, then our main 75-lap main event. So we get ready to rock and roll here in qualifying as practice wraps on up. Right now, Trevor Mattingly sits at the top of the board. Can he do the same here in qualifying? As we have cars rolling to the speedway. First car we're taking a look at, the 38 machine of Dave Payton. Dave, of course, coming in here too tonight, missing last week, had some other obligations, back on the dirt and with a pretty good draw. So Payton getting a fresh track. We'll see what he can do as the 38 machine is on the clock. Payton will dive it down low to middle line here on lap number 1. Hopping big time there into turn number 3. The rut's already there on the speedway. Right now, Payton, lap number 1 in the book. Good for quickest at the moment. Also out there on the speedway, you see him a little bit further back. The 37 HotLap Hero machine, Brandon Marlowe. Marlowe just beating out Payton. We're going to take a look here at the time of the scoring on the left. And we see Payton now edge back in front. Payton right now sits there. Now Dan Lloyd goes to the top. Lloyd in the 9 with a 12.20. That's good enough for quick time here in group number 1. So Dan Lloyd with a great time. We'll get our next group of drivers rocking and rolling. That will include Kenny Haight, Justin Benefield, who's not quite to his car yet, so might have some implications there. And then Tanner Hutchins in the Double H. So Haight here in the 46 lap number 1, a 13.34. He's looking for a little bit more speed here on lap number 2. Haight a little bit higher on the speedway. We'll have to see how that shakes on out for times. But also in this group, Haight able to get down to a 12.52. Tanner Hutchins a little bit of an issue. He had to reset. So Hutchins coming back out on the speedway, let's say. Lap number 1 definitely not up into Hutchins standards. We'll see how this lap is as Hutchins' final lap here, and good enough only for a 12.50. So either this track is falling apart quickly, or these guys did not have a group there. We head over now to our quick time in practice. We head to the 13T teammate himself, Trevor Mattingly. Mattingly getting that thing wound up on the top side. We'll now dive it down to the inside. So Trevor Mattingly throwing away lap number 1 only good for a 13.37. Looks like Clay Atwood has the same mentality. He will do the same, wind it on up. Will this be good enough for quick time? Yes, it will. Trevor Manley to the top with a 12.14. That's good enough for quick time. Also out here on the speedway, the 111 HotLap Heros machine. That, of course, being piloted by Clay Atwood. Atwood right now sits 5th quick. Then we head to one of our many painters out here in the field, the 91 FMS Rapid Graphixs machine of Aaron Kirby. Kirby only good enough for a 12.52, so Kirby coming in with no practice and not the qualifying effort he wanted. Now we head to the 23 machine of Stephen Hoffman. Hoffman lap number 1, winding it on up on the cushion, jumps the cushion there a little bit in 1 and 2, so Hoffman once again stays to that top side here on his time lap. It looks like drivers only getting 2 laps here in qualifying, as Hoffman once again big time sideways in 3 and 4 there. That's not going to be a good lap. We head to the 27 machine, Cade Gailey. Gailey will improve to 6th with a 12.44. Also in this group, the 88 machine, Northside Towing, Deadshot Wiring machine. It is Chuck Darling. Darling right now sits P number 10 as he gets a little bit squirrely after the qualifying. Darling only good for a 12.60. All these guys inside of the invert at the moment. Of course, top 16 making the invert for qualifying. So you at least want to start in there as we get some more cars on the speedway. First car we're looking at is the 27 machine. This is Jason Crow. Crow out here, lap number 1, running the high side. Lap number 2 will dive it down to the inside. Crow, of course, lap number 1 throwing on away. Lap number 2 very low in 3. I like that, but Cam Tucker right behind with some good momentum. Cam Tucker able to improve to quick time. Jason Crow 2nd quick, just a 10th off, but Cam Tucker goes to the top of the board in the 53 machine. Tucker showing a lot of speed here recently. Then we head to the 3M machine, Big Al's Guns on the car, part of the Kentucky group with Trevor Mattingly, Aaron Kirby, and Tanner Hutchins. It is Bobby Mattingly in the 3M. Mattingly good for 6th quick at the moment, but man, Cam Tucker on a roll the last couple weeks. He sits at the top of the board with a 12.11. Top of the board, very close, 3/10 separating the top 3 here. Who else can throw their hat in the mix? It seems like this track still has some speed. As we take a look now at the 11 machine, this is Shane Yates, part of the Premier Setup Boys. Yates lap number 1 here. Lap number 2 still sticking with the top side, so interesting call from the 11. We'll have to see how that works on out. Also in this group, the 02 machine, the runner-up last week, Nick Baum. He's hoping for a win this season. Baum, of course, making select starts, but when he does show up, he makes an impact. As now Justin Thompson to the top of the 12.10. Justin Thompson with a great qualifying effort in the 98 T machine as he pulls that thing to the infield. Justin Thompson, a lot of great sponsors on that car, and man, a great lap from Justin Thompson. He was complaining about the middle draw, but making it work big time there, as Justin Thompson to the top of the charts with a 12.10. Baum able to get it up to 3rd with a 12.11. We now head to the 518 machine. This is piloted by Joseph Grandy. Grandy out here didn't have the race last week. He wanted, hoping for some redemption here tonight. As lap number 1 in the books from Grandy. Of course, the lap number 1, as we've been seeing for pretty much the whole season, getting it up to speed here. Lap number 2 from Grandy, a little bit better, good enough for 6th. Also in this group, we have Tucker Holiday in the 16 or the 03 on the car. New paint scheme from Holiday, and Holiday right now only 17th quick, so Holiday gonna try and find some speed here late, as Holiday he will go to P number 11 on that final lap. Also in this last group, pulling it on to the infield, is the 05 machine, Nicholas McDougall. He will park at P number 14, so he's just on the cusp here as we get our next group rocking and rolling out here on the speedway. First car we're taking a look at is the 01 machine of Michael Blessings, also Jacob Smith in the 888 out here, and Jordan Tucker also in this group here. So take a look here at Michael Blessings here on the track, lap number 1 here. Getting that thing already on the bottom side though, so Blessings, that lap's in the book. We take a look here, Jacob Smith able to go to P number 11, so Jacob Smith with a good qualifying effort. He's been on a tear, especially this season. When he's hit it right on the head for these setups. As we take a look, last car in this group, the 66 machine, Jordan Tucker, trying to find him. Looks like Jordan Tucker not rolling on the speedway, so it looks like Michael Blessings will call it a day, just missing the invert there in 17th. We take a look here, final qualifier of the guys that has made it. It's the 92 machine of Casey Childers. Childers here has the track alone. What can he do? He needs to beat a 12.34 to make it into the invert. We'll see how Childers can do as he is on the clock here. Lap number 1 from Childers, 12.68. That puts him good enough for 22nd. Lap number 2, not going to be that good. Lost the back end there in the middle of 3 and 4, so that lap a little bit better, but not good enough. 12.51. Final time round, he'll throw it up to the top side, try and carry some momentum. Gets big time sideways in turn 4 there, and Childers trying to get too much and will be slower, so Childers missing out on the invert. But Justin Thompson at the top of the timing and scoring. He will walk away with the quick time here tonight in the 98T machine. That will do it here for qualifying. Justin Thompson, quick time. Cam Tucker, 2nd. Nick Baum, 3rd. Jason Crow, 4th. Trevor Manley rounds out the top 5. 6th going to Dan Lloyd, 7th. Shane Yates, 8th is Dave Payton, 9th. Bobby Manley rounding out the top 10 is Brandon Marlowe. So that will wrap up qualifying here, and some good action there, of course. Here coming into the heat races, top 4 inverted. Top 4, of course, making the show from the heat races, so a lot to be racing for here tonight. As we have a little bit of time, we're going to go throw it to our commercial. We'll be right back on the other side for heat racing action.
The American Sim Racing Club, home of the fastest growing fixed setup league on the server, the Dirt Pro Late Model Series, presented by Horsepower Happenings. Every Sunday night on the Turn 3 Racing Network, watch the server's best battle for more than 50 laps at some of the nation's most grueling tracks. From the Bristol Dirt to the Charlotte Dirt Track, Kern County to Fairbury, over 24 drivers a week put it on the line for a shot at over $600 in the championship points fund. Join us every Sunday night at 9:30 for the ASRC Dirt Pro Late Model Series on the Turn 3 Racing Network.
Alrighty, folks, we head back here to Fairbury, and we did get Jordan Tucker to jump on in. He was given 60 seconds to make it back in the server. And Jordan Tucker just beating the timer here, so we'll take a look here. Qualifying not quite over yet, as now the 66 machine of Jordan Tucker gets on the clock here. Tucker, lap number 1, gonna need to find some more speed here. He did get some practice laps in, but probably not as much as he would like, as lap number 2 a little bit better, goes up to 18th. So Tucker looking for just a little bit more speed here on this final run. 3 and 4 look pretty good from the 66. That should make it. Yes, it does. Jordan Tucker jumps up to 12th. He'll be inside the invert here tonight. So great last minute effort from Jordan Tucker, and I think that will wrap up qualifying. So Justin Thompson still sits at the top of the timing and scoring as we head over to heat race number 1. Heat race number 1 is being presented by FMS Rapid Graphixs. FMS Rapid Graphixs offers vinyl, banner, signs, and other marketing solutions, including virtual and real world wraps and design services. Find FMS Rapid Graphixs on Facebook. And here in group number 1, it looks like we do get a FMS Rapid Graphics car out here on the speedway. Of course, that being the man himself, Aaron Kirby, in the 91 machine. But now let's run through tonight's starting order from heat race number 1, being presented by FMS. Brandon Marlowe in the 37 HotLap Hero machine will lead the field to green. To his outside will be the 11 of Shane Yates, being presented by Rocket Racing Esports and Premier Setup Shops. Row number 2, also another HotLap Hero banner driver. It is the 27 machine of Jason Crow. Then we head to our quick time here tonight. Justin Thompson in the 98T will roll off fourth. Fifth will be the 16 machine of Tucker Holliday. Sixth will be the 05 of Nicholas McDougall. Seventh will be the 00H of Tanner Hutchins. Eighth will be the 91 of Aaron Kirby. And starting shotgun on the field, not making the call here for the heat race, would have been the 30B of Justin Benningfield. So that will do it here for our heat race number 1 lineup. 8 laps of distance, top 4 making the show. A lot to be racing for here. Make the top 4, get some weight off your back, not have to go the last chance. And here we go, folks. Green flag racing from Fairbury. Heat race number 1 is underway. Brandon Marlowe gets away with a great start there. He's able to lead the field as they dive almost 3 wide here through 3 and 4. Justin Thompson trying to waste no time. He'll go to the middle, make some contact, some more contact with Shane Yates. They continue to door bang here off of turn number 2. That almost opens up the door for Tucker Holliday, as Holliday was thinking about it there. Holliday will stick back to that middle lane, but Shane Yates heading in the wrong direction on the top side. With their contact, once again, Justin Thompson getting into the left rear of Jason Crow. That slowed up the rest of the field and allowed Brandon Marlowe to say, I'll see you guys in the main event. He's trying to check out here early. Brandon Marlowe about a second advantage over the field now. Justin Thompson continues to keep the pressure on Crow for that second position. Tucker Holliday now in the transfer spot. He's the last car in as Shane Yates falls out of the transfer spot. Yates still committed to the top side, trying to make something work here at some point in this heat race. Down the backstretch they come, and now Nicholas McDougall looking to the inside of the 11. This time by, we see 2 laps to go here from heat race number 1 being presented by FMS Rapid Graphixs. Looks like kind of chilling on out, at least in the top 4. Thompson trying to now go up to the top side, trying to get some momentum rocking and rolling in that 98T. He finds a little bit of daylight on the top side, but it looks like Crow will be able to hang on to it. Looks like Tucker Holliday, maybe not. Holliday gets a piece of the inside wall. He won't make the transfer with that mistake on the final lap. That allowed Shane Yates to get on in there and sneak his way to the show, but it was Brandon Marlowe in the 37 HotLap Heroes machine picking up the win as we head over to heat race number 2. Heat race number 2 is being presented by American All-Star Crate Late Model Series. The Mid-South's most prestigious pro late model series is the American All-Stars. Racing in Tennessee, Kentucky, Virginia, and more. Find an event near you. And like I mentioned last week, folks, be on the lookout for next season, 2024 season schedule for those boys. And they put on a good show wherever they show on up as we get ready for the American All-Star Crate Late Model Series Heat Race number 2. Starting lineup, Jacob Smith in the 888 will lead the field to green to his outside the 38 of Dave Payne. Row number 2, the 13T of Trevor Manley rolls off third, with 4th being Cam Tucker in the 53. 5th will be the 111 of Clay Atwood, 6th going to Cade Gailey in the 27. 7th will be the 92 of Casey Childers, and starting shotgun on the field in 8th is the 88 of Chuck Darling. That will do it here as the field gets ready to rock and roll. Jacob Smith slows up the field here. He'll jump on it, and we go racing here in the All-American Crate Late Model Series Heat Race number 2. Dave Payne with a wide line there, 1 and 2. That opens up the door for a handful of cars as Payne, one of the few first guys to go all the way to the top, but he's losing some time. Now able to get that thing up to speed, but Payne now sits in the last transfer spot as Clay Atwood's trying to get that spot. He makes contact with the 11 as they go on around further on back. It looks like Casey Childers, the car that was slow. So first yellow of the night coming in heat race number 2. We're going to take a look here, see what happened. And I believe just an accordion effect from the 111 of Clay Atwood getting into the left side of Cam Tucker, and then Casey Childers committed to that inside lane, not able to stop the car as those cars stopped in a hurry right in front of him. You can see Clay Atwood already sideways there, and Casey Childers comes to a stop there in the middle of 3 and 4, and that's enough to bring out the yellow flag. It looks like Clay Atwood did tap on the roof there, so that means Clay Atwood will go to the back here. Still has 6 laps to make it on up and try and get up into the top 4. One car that's glad to see that yellow, Dave Payton, but maybe he got that top side just rolling there. We'll have to see as we get our first dose of the Delaware double file restart. Jacob Smith will start out front by himself. Then looks like Trevor Manley in the 13T will pick the inside. That puts Dave Payton in the 38 to the outside. The rest of the field lines up where they are told to do so. And we get ready to go back here just next time by, as looks like one car having a little bit of issues. He's able to get back up to the field here. So this time by, I believe we'll be trying to go back to green flag racing in the American All-Star Crate Late Model Series Heat Race number 2. Jacob Smith leading the first 2 laps. He's hoping to do the same. Saw his teammate Brandon Marlowe do just that in heat race number 1. He's trying to do the same as we go back to green flag racing action. Jacob Smith away with a great run. Trevor Manley, though, right there in tow. Further on back, 3 wide racing for that last transfer spot as Cade Gailey all over the inside of the track. He's trying to get up into that transfer spot. Currently, it's Dave Payne. Gailey racing for that spot here. Racing for P number 4. That's where it's at. Oh, it's like Cade Gailey. A little bit of an issue. He's able to get that thing back as Dave Payne. A little extra sideways. Payton trying to find some traction. Looks like he's struggling with some right rear grip in that 38 machine. As now Payton will go back to the inside. Gailey up top. So switching roles here as Jacob Smith still out there in front in heat race number 2. Keeping an eye here, best battle on track for that last transfer spot here tonight. Payton down low, Gailey up top. Gailey with a half a car advantage here as this track in bumpier and bumpier. One more lap, one more time around for these drivers. Payton seeing that opportunity slip on away. Now about 2 car lengths back. Looks like Payne won't have enough up in front. Jacob Smith will walk away with the heat when he picks up the win in heat race number 2. Cade Gailey able to hang on to that last transfer spot. Good heat race number 2. Now we head to heat race number 3 and get ready to rock and roll here tonight. Heat race number 3 being presented by Pay to Win Setups. When you're not racing with the fixed setup leagues of ASRC, find the consistency speed you need with Pay to Win Setups. Specializing in paved and dirt oval setups, Pay to Win also offers coaching and personalized setups. Be sure to find Pay to Win Setups on Facebook to find that last little speed you need in those open setup races. As we head down now to heat race number 3 starting lineup. Leading the field to green, the last qualifier on track, Jordan Tucker in the 66 will lead the field to green to his outside the 3M of Bobby Madeline. Row number 2 will be made up of the 9 of Dan Lloyd with Nick Baum in the 002 rolling off 4th. 5th will be the 518 of Joseph Gray. The 6th will be the 01 of Michael Blessings. 7 going to the 46 of Kenny Haight. 8th will be the 23 machine of Stephen Hoffman. That will do it here for starting lineup of the Pay to Win Setups heat race number 2 as Jordan Tucker now gonna wait to fire on off. He does that new scheme for Tucker, a little spooky in that 66 machine, embracing the October line times on the car, and that is a good looking setup as he takes the lead, able to lead lap number 1, 1 car further back, a little out of sorts. I believe that was the 518 machine of Joseph Grandy. Grandy slides back all the way to the last as Grandy and Hoffman get together on the backstretch. They continue to race very close door to door. As it looks like they sort themselves on out here. As we take a look here further on back, big time battle for second on back as Bobby Madley under fire from Dan Lloyd and Nick Baum. Baum trying to go even lower than Dan Lloyd. Lloyd's about on the low line. Baum is right wrapping those inside tires here tonight at Fairbury. So Baum getting some practice of how close he can get to those tires without contact. Contact though down the backstretch. They get sandwiched, a 3-wide sandwich just running out of race room. As it looks like Madley and Lloyd able to walk out better on that. Now it looks like this top side coming on in as Jordan Tucker still out there in front. He's looking for his first heat win of the year. As Madley continues to try to defend Baum and Lloyd as this is still racing not for a transfer spot. Big time contact between Baum and Lloyd. Lloyd, I don't know if he knew Baum was up there, but big time hit down the backstretch. I'm surprised neither of them got facing the wrong direction as that time Baum throws the slider, just able to clear Lloyd as off of turn number 4. It looks like Baum able to beat Lloyd. Lloyd still in the main show, but Jordan Tucker here picking up the heat win in heat race number 3. Alrighty, we head to our last chance qualifier. Last chance qualifier being presented by HotLap Heros. Break the mold of just being some HotLap Hero. Work with drivers like Jacob Laster, Brandon Marlowe, Dan Lloyd, and others to become a true race winning contender and not just a HotLap Hero. As they are presenting our last chance qualifier here. As last chance qualifier number 1 getting ready to rock and roll. 12 laps of distance. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, we are taking, I want to say 5 cars from this. I'm sure Zach Heiser will yell at me, and yep, in my ear Zach Heiser comes and confirming that top 5 making it. So the starting grid here, Tucker Holliday leading the field to green. Diz outside will be the 01 of Michael Blessings. Row number 2, the 111 of Clay Atwood with Tanner Hutchins in the double H rolling off 4th. 5th is Joseph Grandy. 6th, Casey Childers. As we get ready to rock and roll here, 12 laps of distance. Top 5 of the 6 cars making it. So sending 1 car home here tonight from the first HotLap Hero last chance qualifier. Wow, some big time sideways action. That was the 111 machine of Clay Atwood. He was big time sideways. Clay Atwood trying to waste no time to jump to this top side. So Atwood able to get to the line that he wants. That is the top side as we start to click down laps here in last chance qualifier number 1. Holliday trying to check on out. We saw Holliday make that last lap mistake in his heat race that put him back in this B main as he tries to walk on away. Contact there between Tanner Hutchins and Michael Blessings. Blessings probably not going to be the happiest with that move, but as they sit right now, Blessings still in the show, even if Atwood does get on around him on the high side. Not too much room for Atwood to get a car length up top, but Atwood will drive it in there deep, make it stick. Atwood back up to 3rd position. Michael Blessing sits 4th. Joseph Grandy, last car in the show at the moment. Here as we click down 7 to go. Everyone out on the speedway running the top lane here. Head to the fans in the stands on the backstretch here. Tucker Holliday out in front by a half a second here. As almost contact there for that 4th position as Michael Blessing almost gets a little left tap from Joseph Grandy, but everyone's still racing pretty clean. 1 car out of sorts, Clay Atwood. He makes big time contact with the front stretch wall. Not sure if Atwood has an issue or what's going on with that car, but big time wall hit to the front stretch. As Atwood now gets the back bumper of Blessings, has to get on out of it just a little bit. Atwood has to be careful not damage that front end suspension and have his night go from bad to worse and not even make the big dance. 3 laps to go, this time by at the start finish line. Holiday leads over Hutchins, Blessings in third. Atwood fourth, who we're looking at. Joseph Grandy, last car in the show at the moment with 2 laps to go. Casey Chowders has closed the gap to Grandy. It might be a battle for that last transfer spot here. As this time by, we see the white flag, 1 more lap to go. What does Chowders have in the books? It's out in front. Tucker Holiday gonna set sail and pick up a B main win here tonight at Fairbury. Through 3 and 4 for the final time. Casey Childers just gonna come up short over Joseph Grandy. So Childers not gonna be able to make the show here as we head to our final last chance qualifier here tonight. Those being presented by TNT Engine. So I know it says heat race number 4, but I'm going to at least throw up the graphic and read about him before we go back to the HotLap Heros last chance qualifier. TNT Engines, looking for power in your racing cart? TNT Engines will find the speed in your American Kart Racing Association clone engine with rebuilds and tuning to the maximum specs while remaining within a car rules. Call 270-699-1580 for more information. As we head over to, it is actually our second last chance qualifier here, but being presented also by TNT Engines. As we head to our starting lineup, Dave Payton, the B main bandit last season, leading the field of green. Nicholas McDougall to his outside, rolling off second. Third being Kenny Haight. Fourth, Chuck Darling. Fifth, Aaron Kirby. Sixth will be Stephen Hoffman. Seventh will be Justin Benefield, but he does not make the call. So once again, 6 cars going for 5 spots. Dave Payton jumps on the loud pedal. We go green flag racing in last chance qualifier number 2. Payton gets away with a great start here. He's going to try and check on out in front if he can. Payton right now in the middle lane, but he was definitely watching that B-main. He knows that there's speed on the top lane. How much longer will it take for that 38 machine to go to the top? Looks like Kenny Haight trying to do the same. Trying to carry some momentum up on this top lane. Looks like Haight finally gets clear from McDougall. Aaron Kirby sits fourth. Stephen Hoffman right now the last car in the 23 machine. So Hoffman trying to keep Chuck Darling in the rear view mirror. Darling knows he just has to get 1 spot only to make the show. Darling, of course, more of a pavement guy, but trying to get some good practice, trying to learn from some of the best on the dirt. As Darling trying to find some different lines, trying to find some speed as we head out front and stop with the trine. As Dave Payton out here leading the way, he has about a second advantage over Kenny Haight. Haight still hasn't able to walk too far away from the 05 machine of McDougall, and Aaron Kirby has kind of caught these guys as we are halfway down in last chance qualifier number 2. So right now, unless something crazy happens at the moment, it looks like Chuck Darling gonna go home from last chance qualifier number 2. Looks like Aaron Kirby now under fire from that last transfer spot from Stephen Hoffman. Hoffman trying to put a little bit of barrier, just some breather room, just in case, as these guys still side by side for P number 5. Looks like Chuck Darling having some issues. He'll pull that car pit side, so unless something crazy happens out on the speedway, looks like the 5 cars that are still running will make the show. We head back here to Dave Payton, our race leader. This time by, he will see 2 laps to go, and he'll walk away with yet another B main win under his belt. Stephen Hoffman able to get around Kirby. Now Hoffman trying to race down McDougall, but probably just running out of time. It's Dave Payton here down the backstretch for the final time here tonight in the B main at Fairbury, off of turn number 4. The B main bandit adds another one under his belt. Dave Payton picks up the win here. Kenny Haight second, Nicholas McDougall third, Stephen Hoffman fourth, Aaron Kirby fifth, and Chuck Darling, the 1 car not making the show. As we will head to commercial break. On the other side, we'll talk to our B main winners. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back.
The American Sim Racing Club, home of the fastest growing fixed setup league on the server, the Dirt Pro Late Model Series, presented by Horsepower Happenings. Every Sunday night on the Turn 3 Racing Network, watch the server's best battle for more than 50 laps at some of the nation's most grueling tracks. From the Bristol Dirt to the Charlotte Dirt Track, Kern County to Fairbury, over 24 drivers a week put it on the line for a shot at over $600 in the championship points fund. Join us every Sunday night at 9:30 for the ASRC Dirt Pro Late Model Series on the Turn 3 Racing Network.
Alrighty, folks, we head back here to the Fairbury Raceway. Going to try and talk to our B-main #1 winner, that being Tucker Holiday. Tucker, you got a copy of Brett Jet in the booth here?
Yes, sir. What's up, Brett?
Oh, not too much. Tucker, you picked up the B-main there, and B-main #1. That 16 machine looked quick as always. Tucker, tell us how you felt in the B-main.
Yeah, felt pretty strong there. I could kind of use any line to my advantage. Got a good gap. Really shouldn't have been in there. Hit the Uke tire in the heat race, kind of like a dummy, but hopefully those laps kind of gave me some edge over these other guys on where to go for these 75 laps here.
Yeah, Tucker, a tough break there in the heat race. Like you said, getting that inside tire, I mean, you definitely learned where the limit was on that last lap, but that definitely had to be frustrating. You had to sit with that mistake all the way up into that B-main.
Yeah, I kind of had to just laugh it off for those extra heat races going there. It was all on my own. Dumb move, but we're in the show, so we're gonna make it work.
Yep, Tucker, you know how to get through these fields in a hurry. What's going to be the game plan here tonight at Fairbury?
Mainly just keeping the nose clean here. Starting a little too far back, so there won't be too much tire saving out of me, but just gonna try and keep the nose clean, stay out of these wrecks, and march forward.
Alrighty, Tucker, I think you had some pretty good success, I believe, some decent runs in the real life stuff the last couple weeks. Do you want to talk about that at all?
Yeah, actually, I ran my first ever Northeast modified race in a Crate Sportsman and ended up winning it by pretty much a straightaway on Outlaw Weekend at Fulton Speedway, so that was pretty awesome to do.
Yeah, showing off the skills, and I'm sure iRacing helped you a little bit jumping into a new car, and of course running really well, picking up a win. That is definitely impressive.
Yeah, iRacing's definitely helped me. You know, I keep in form all the time, but my cousin has a pretty sharp car, so that was pretty much flawless to hop in and drive. It was pretty easy, but yeah, it was a great night.
Yeah, that is definitely exciting. Well, Tucker, before we let you go and get ready for this B-main, I'm going to go hand over the mic to you. Thank you. We got to thank you real quick on the 16 machine, or anyone watching at home.
As always, got to thank Richard Murtaugh giving me a place at Premier to hone my skills, and all the guys at Premier that work with us. We got a good group, and it proves every week when we get faster, so glad that we got them.
All righty, Tucker. Well, best of luck in the main event. You'll be rolling off 13th here tonight.
Thank you, sir.
All righty, then we head to our second B-main winner, the B-main bandit himself, Dave Payton. Dave, you got a copy of Brett Jet?
Hey, Brett.
What up, what up? So the B-main bandit adds another B-main win. Dave, you got a great draw here tonight, able to qualify, I think, just outside of the top 5. How you feeling at Fairbury?
Well, I mean, I still don't think I qualified quite as well as I would have liked to or thought I would be able to, but I mean, we made the feature, so I feel decent about that. I think I got the luck of the draw of coming in on a night where we didn't have a whole lot of people going home, so we'll see what I can do starting from the near back.
You're rolling off 14th, starting pretty deep in the field. What's the game plan going into the 75 lapper here tonight?
Well, usually with dirt racing, I always like to try and just settle in. You know, it always takes a few laps to kind of, where you just sort of ride it out and and see how people are shaking out and let everybody settle down, and then you start to see if you can start making moves forward. So I think I'm just going to try and stay conservative and see how everybody's running, and then see if I can move forward.
All right, Dave, before we let you go and get ready for this main event, I'm going to go hand over the mic to you and thank who you got to thank on the 38 machine.
Thanks to Turn 3 Racing Network for broadcasting this for us. Thanks to the series sponsors, to Zach for putting this together, and for my wife for letting me play video games on a Sunday night.
All right, Dave, best of luck to you here. Good luck in the main event.
Thanks, Brett.
All righty, folks, that was Dave Payton, the B-Main Bandit, there, picking up heat win number 2 as we get ready to go over tonight's starting order from Fairbury. Alrighty, folks, leading the field to green, Brandon Marlowe in the 37 machine will be doing so. To his outside will be the 88 machine of Jacob Smith. Row number 2 rolling off third. Jordan Tucker picking up a heat win. To his outside, the 27 machine of Jason Crow. 5th will be the 13T of Trevor Manley. 6th being Bobby Manley. So a Manley lockout in row number 3. 7th will be the 98T, our quick time of Justin Thompson. 8th going to Cam Tucker in the 53. 9th will be the 002 machine of Nick Baum. Rounding out the top 10 will be the 11 of Shane Yates. 11th will be the 27 machine of Cade Gailey. 12th will be Dan Lloyd. 13th will be our B-Main number 1 winner, Tucker Holiday. 14th is Dave Payne in the 38. 15th will be the double H of Tanner Hutchins. 16th going to the 46 of Kenny Haight. 17th, the 01 of Michael Blessens. 18th is Nicholas McDougall. 19th is Clay Atwood. 20th will be Stephen Hoffman. 21st is Joseph Grandy in the 518. And rounding out the field here tonight will be the 91 machine of Aaron Kirby. And look at this, folks. Here we go. These drivers putting on the salute for you guys watching at home. It is the 4-wide salute being presented by Horsepower Happenings. Horsepower Happenings, of course, our premier series sponsor. Horsepower Happenings is Michigan's leader for short track racing coverage with a weekly podcast all year long and social media coverage of select events. Find Horsepower Happenings on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And it is the 4-wide salute. Gotta give you goosebumps here, as that is an awesome sight to see as we get ready to rock and roll. Some of the best here on the virtual dirt. Gonna throw it down. 75 laps here last week. We saw 0 yellow flags at the Lernerville Speedway. That is pretty much unheard of as we get ready to rock and roll for ours. Will we see the same here as Iris Pace Truck heads down pit road and Brandon Marlowe leads the 22 car field to the green flag. We go racing here at Fairbury. Brandon Marlowe wasting no time jumping to that top side as Marlowe leads the way over. Now here comes Jordan Tucker, maybe Trevor Mattingly as they think about making it 3 wide here. Jordan Tucker stuck in the middle. He almost gets the door slammed shut by Trevor Mattingly as Jordan Tucker goes on around and the rest of the field will slide on in there. Our first yellow flag is quite a parking lot as it looks like most cars able to roll on away, but big time front end damage to the 111 machine of Clay Atwood. Oh man, folks, that is a tough break here early to get a yellow flag this stage of the race. We take a look here at the replay, see what happened. Jordan Tucker kind of having to make evasive maneuvers right here off of turn number 2 as Trevor Madley tries to keep that car to the low side. But then here in 3 and 4, we got to see what happened as looks like Jordan Tucker just tried to go for a gap that was closing with Jason Crow. Bobby Mattingly has nowhere to go. Shane Yates gets in there, and where does the 11 of, oh, there it is, the 11 of Clay Atwood coming in there late. So we're going to try and find a camera here riding on board with the 111, see what he saw on our first yellow flag. You see him wrecking high there in 3 and 4, and at this point, the car's kind of set. Everyone getting on the binders, and that wreck continues to trickle down the track, and that's where Clay Atwood gets the front end damage, losing the nose of that car and still not having it. So Clay Atwood's going to be probably riding on around here with some ill handling race cars. As we are under our first yellow flag, it looks like everyone able to get up where they need to be. So this track, of course, very, very small. Gonna make yellow flag laps a challenge of its own. So coming into tonight, Richard Murtaugh leads the point standings over Brandon Marlowe. Marlowe right now sits the leader of this race, so if Marlowe gets a great finish, maybe even picking up a win, he can walk away with some great points and probably take over the point standings for Murtaugh. But Murtaugh coming into tonight almost a 50-point buffer, so that could still keep him in the points fight when it's all said and done. We get ready to rock and roll back here to green flag. The lights are out around the Fairbury Speedway. Marlowe out in front. Looks like Jacob Smith electing the high side. That moves Trevor Malley up into third on the inside. Brandon Marlowe here weighed in, jumps on it, and we go back. Green flag racing action here as the field will dive down into turn number 1. Split this track, make any sort of lane if you can. It seems like most cars, though, going either all the way to the bottom or all the way to the top. See some pretty wide racing action throughout the field here tonight. Jordan Tucker involved in that last yellow. Sits just outside of the top 10 here at the moment, but out in front, battle for the race lead. Trevor Mattingly trying to tiptoe around this inside lane. Brandon Marlowe trying to keep his foot in the gas, let's say, to keep that momentum on the top side. Mattingly out there to our lead, so Trevor Mattingly, new race leader here. He's trying to pick up on old times. Won quite a bit last season. So far this season, has not made the trip to victory lane. Hoping tonight will be his night. One car picking up positions on this inside lane as well. Tonight's quick time qualifier. Justin Thompson currently sits in the 5th position, battling back and forth. Nick Baum sits right behind him as well. A little bit further back, some intense racing from just outside of the top 10 as Joseph Brandy continues to try and work that inside line as well. Stephen Hoffman in the middle. Clay Atwood with no nose up on the top side and making it work here. So out in front, single file for the moment. It goes Mattingly, Marlowe, Smith, then Bobby Mattingly. Justin Thompson rounds out the top 5. Nick Baum right there. And a little bit of a gap to our 7th place driver, Shane Yates there in the 11th car. Tucker Holiday, man on a mission here. Started 13th here tonight, picking up the main number 1 win. He's up inside the top 10, trying to get 7th now from Yates. This is another driver. He said there's probably going to be not too much saving from the 16th, and he is showing that on off. Trying to make his way through this field early, and so far doing just that. It looks like the field is now spread out within half a track, so if we stay green for long, we will definitely get into some lap traffic as Brandon Marlowe stuck on the inside lane, able to get right up in front of the nose of Justin Thompson. Thompson will give the slider, and they make contact. Justin Thompson will go on around. He'll come to a stop. Luckily, everyone avoids, but maybe not as, oh man, Tanner Hutchins will go around late in the yellow flag. I believe Hutchins may have gotten some help from the 518 machine, maybe not being able to slow up in time. So some more drama unfolding, but battling inside the top 5. Justin Thompson goes on around off the nose of the 37 machine of Brandon Marlowe. Get our 2nd yellow flag of the night. We're going to go see how this goes. So we go from a night last week, no yellow flags in the main event so far tonight. 2 yellows within the first 20 laps. So a little change of pace, let's say, as we have a flurry of yellows to start here tonight. Looks like Brandon Marlowe does tap on the roof. He does claim that yellow, so Brandon Marlowe going to the back, and that is not what he needed from a strong point tonight from the 37 machine. He'll go to the back of the pack here as he gets that thing rolling, and will tag on to the back of the field. Out in front, Trevor Manley by himself. Looks like Jacob Smith once again electing the high lane. Then it goes Bobby Mattingly. He makes his return to the top 3 here. He will restart in P number 3. So 2 Mattingleys within the top 3 here early in the night. Let's stay that way. We'll find out here as we go back. Green flag racing action. Trevor Manley shot out of the cannon. He gets away with a great start as Bobby Manley tried to slide on up. Not going to happen. Here comes Nick Baum on the top side. Baum's going to carry that momentum up top and try and get around Bobby Manley for P number 3. Now the backstretch is a drag race for that position, but Baum has the momentum. Baum should be able to clear probably this lap, and there it is. So Bobby Manley able to get up back to the top side here, but back into 4th here. So it looks like restarting on that inside lane is going to be very tough here tonight. As we look a little bit further back, Michael Blessing getting around Kenny Nate. Nate not giving up that spot easy. He will continue to try and stay on that top side, but Nate big time sideways there off of turn number 2. That will kill some momentum up top. Guys stay side by side here, and look at this. Jordan Tucker involved in that first yellow, got some big time damage, but able to get his way back up into the top 10. He currently sits 10th and sitting right behind this battle in case either of these guys right in front of him makes any sort of mistake here tonight. As old contact there, more contact as Blessings parks it almost on a nose, and Nate having no time to react either with 66 and Jordan Tucker. I don't know how any of those cars kept those cars straight, but that they do, and we continue to stay green flag racing here. Look a little bit deeper in the field. Stephen Hoffman battling with Joseph Randy and maybe Clay Atwood. Atwood still able to hang on to a decent pace in that 111. Back, Tanner Hutchins trying to make something happen on Kate Gailey. Same with Brandon Marlowe. Starting deep in the field here. 25 laps in the book. Still 50 to go, as once again we almost see some green flag racing action. These cars definitely very close to each other tonight. No one really able to march up through the field, but I bet you a lot of these guys towards the back just trying to save their stuff, hoping that the guys in the mid-pack using up a little bit too much. As we see our first guy kind of tiptoeing around the bottom, that is Nick Baum. Baum maybe trying to save some right rear, trying to keep that speed down on that car, just taking it easy, trying to go the shortest distance around the speedway here tonight. Go to him, then he tries a different line there in 3 and 4, but 1 and 2. It seems like he's crawling around the speedway, but making up time over Bobby Mattingly. Then here in 3 and 4, he heads to that middle lane. That's right on board with Nick Baum here. Nick Baum, best time 12.80. Last time by 13.1. This time by will be at 13.1 as well. And you can see very cautious on the throttle in 1 and 2, but then 3 and 4 kind of making it work. But this has allowed Nick Baum to end up challenging Trevor Mattingly for the race lead here. So Baum finding some speed on that inside lane. He's going for the race lead here tonight at Fairbury, just before the halfway point here. Nick Baum, new race leader. He just beat Trevor and Mattingly by a nose that time by at the line. So we'll see who else will go to that inside lane and try and make it work. And then it seems like the middle line in 3 and 4 is where it is at. And he is making that inside line work, tiptoeing around the bottom with the tractor tires. As Trevor Manley trying to be high side and handsome, keeping his foot in it. but it looks like this high side's going away here in a hurry. You can see slick all the way up into the cushion, so you either got to start pushing that cushion, start pushing that envelope, or else start walking on down, because you are definitely in the slick stuff here at that top side, definitely getting killed here in the middle of tonight's race. This time by for Nick Baum, I believe we will see cross flags here, halfway down, halfway home tonight in race number 5 at Fairbury. Of course, main event being presented by Horsepower Happenings. Be sure to check out their podcast for all your race needs, especially in the Midwest coverage. As we see the battle for the race lead still, we head a little bit further on back. Joseph Randy now up into the top 10 here. He's able to get around some spots. Here comes Justin Thompson. Thompson, of course, involved in that most recent yellow. He's trying to race his way back through the field. He finds himself 12, trying to get around the 11 to Clay Atwood. So as the laps continue to click on down, the field gets longer and longer around the speedway. Aaron Kirby there just hits the start-finish line. Then the leaders now just hit the start-finish line, so about a quarter track back from getting into tonight's lap traffic. Head a little bit deeper in the field here. A Tucker on Tucker battle. Jordan Tucker leading the way over Cam Tucker on this inside lane. And Stephen Hoffman, Jason Crowd trying to work the top side, trying to find some momentum up top. Of course, Brandon Marlowe trying to find opening 4 wide here at Fairbury as they make it somehow work there in 3 and 4. Man, I don't know how they tiptoed around that one. No contact whatsoever between these drivers. And that just shows you how good these drivers are. Even battling right around the 20th position, these guys giving it their all. So a little bit of contact there between Cam Tucker and Cade Gailey. Gailey having to get out of the gas. That opens up the door for Marlowe, so Marlowe's able to get that spot. Tanner Hutchins in the double H still tiptoeing around this inside lane. It looks like most of these guys now up to the top here. As Jordan Tucker able to throw a big slider over Stephen Hoffman. Hoffman able to just get on the binders, get that thing turned. Now Hoffman will throw one on back. This is an intense battle for 14th on the track, as it looks like he'll throw one back as man Jordan Tucker, Stephen Hoffman throwing haymakers back and forth, and this is allowing the guys right behind them to close on up and wait for any mistake between the two of them. And if I'm Jordan Tucker throwing sliders in 3 and 4, I'm trying to get that right rear just up to that cushion. A little bit of contact there down the backstretch. Can he get clear enough? No, he won't. Looks like Stephen Hoffman might be able to hang on to the spot here. Looks like that he will. Out in front though, Jacob Smith. While we're looking towards the back, I didn't even realize that Jacob Smith able to get around Nick Baum. Now Smith into lap traffic trying to get around Aaron Kirby, and now right after that, Nicholas McDougall, as Kirby not going down without a fight. This opens up the door for Nick Baum. 3 wide racing for the race lead with a lapper. They somehow make it work as Jacob Smith able to get to the top side. Baum still running that middle lane. We stay green here with 25 laps to go and lap traffic right there. Jacob Smith having to pedal it down the backstretch, not able to go anywhere with Baum right in his way. Now Smith will go tiptoe around this inside lane. He'll throw a slider over McDougall. Not quite. Yes, he will be able to clear. So Jacob Smith able to get back up into P number 2. Now he has to once again reel down Nick Baum for the race lead. Look at this, Bobby Mattingly right there as well in case a mistake happens. Mattingly right there. Dan Lloyd, where did this guy come from? Lloyd finds himself in the top 5. He sits 4th. Trevor Mattingly sits 5th, but under fire now from Shane Yates and maybe Tucker Holliday, as Holliday still tiptoeing around this inside lane here tonight. So out in front, Baum leads the way over Jacob Smith. Shane Yates, Trevor Mattingly do get on out for P number 5. Yates down low, Mattingly up top, and it's about to get even more wild with the lapper of Aaron Kirby right in front of him. How will these guys manage the battle between them? Not only that, how will they get around this lapper here? As it looks like Mattingly able to get clear of Yates. He'll go to the inside, try and work over Aaron Kirby as quick as possible. He'll go all the way down to the bottom side. Take Dan Lloyd able to get around Nicholas McDougal here. Further on back, Michael Blessings, Kenny Hay battling for 9th here on Speedway. These guys side by side making it work. Blessings all the way down to that inside lane. Hay all the way up top. That's a battle for 9th and 10th here. Further on back, big Galgo of cars being now led by Brandon Marlowe in 16th. That goes Cam Tucker, Tanner Hutchins, Cade Gailey, and Jason Crow all in this as we go 3 wide here, very tight, a lot of contact between the two of them. They somehow keep their cars facing the right direction, but is this the end of it? We'll find out here in 1 and 2. It looks like everyone takes their respective lines. Looks like everyone able to get themselves sorted on out as Cam Tucker quickly fills the gap on the top side. He's going to try and now reeling Tanner Hutchins. Those guys battle it out up top. Tanner Hutchins able to walk on by on that inside lane. We had just a little bit further back on track. Leaders catching these 5 cars here in a hurry. As Jacob Smith once again has caught the back bumper of Nick Baum. How will these guys manage this lap traffic late in tonight's race? Can Jacob Smith pick up his first dirt win? Or will Nick Baum add another one to the lipstick case? We'll find out here in under 12 laps to go here tonight. At the start-finish line, they will cross down to 11 laps to go. Now goes Baum, Smith, Bobby Mattingly, Dan Lloyd, Trevor Mattingly, top 5 as they said. A big gap to Trevor Mattingly though in 5th, and then a pretty good amount of cars right behind him. So Trevor Mattingly probably just hoping that this race ends here sooner than later, as we have a side-by-side battle almost forming for that lead here. As it looks like Cade Gailey, very courteous of him, will jump down this inside lane. We get a yellow flag. Looks like the 111 machine, Clay Atwood, big time front end damage to that car. He'll try and get that thing rolling, but Clay Atwood's night goes from bad with getting that damage early on to worse. As we try and take a look here, see what happened between the 111 here. Looks like Clay Atwood trying to navigate maybe some lap traffic and kind of gets on it a little bit too hard, smokes the backstretch wall, loops it on his own. Everyone else doing a great job of making evasive maneuvers, but rips off that front end suspension in a hurry, and that will end the night early for the 111. Oh man, folks, so now this is where it gets interesting. Nick Baum, our race leader here tonight. Late race yellow flag. I believe Jacob Smith may have some more tire, maybe not, but we'll find out here. I think the best car in the top 5 tire-wise will be the 9 machine of Dane Lloyd. Lloyd will restart this race P number 4, so a lot to take into account. We thought aggression levels were high before. Wait till we get this sprint to this finish. As we get ready to rock and roll, inside of 10 laps to go, single file restart. Nick Baum leads the field to green. He jumps on it. Jacob Smith gets a great start from second. He's right on our leader's back bumper. Here comes Jacob Smith. Not quite the run he needs, but he'll go to the bottom side. Big time slider. Doesn't quite clear Baum. Jacob Smith able to slot to the second, though, in front of Bobby Mattingly. What more does the 888 have in the tank? Does he have one more in it? You sure hope he does. As Nick Baum gonna try and run the perfect last 6 laps to finish off tonight's race. Baum right here ripping the cushion, ripping the lip here tonight at Fairbury. His right rear right on that tall stuff, and he's doing everything he needs to. As now he gets a car link between the front two. We keep keep an eye here. Best battle on the speedway a little bit further back. Kenny Haight, Dave Payton, 3 wide here. Joseph Grandy gets on through. Payton will park it on the nose of Stephen Hoffman. Everyone able to keep it clean and green as we had battle for a second for the race lead. A little bit of sliders, or attempted sliders from Jacob Smith once again. Smith's gonna have one more opportunity to get to Nick Baum. Smith a little bit lower in corner exit, able to get the drive through the slick here as this time by. We see popsicle sticks up in the air. 2 more laps to go. Jacob Smith's gonna have one more time. Mistake from Baum. Baum hits the wall there, 1 and 2. Jacob Smith will stay behind. He has one more chance to do it. White flag out. 1 more lap to go around Fairbury. Oh man, folks, what does Jacob Smith have? He'll go to the bottom, get a decent run. Nick Baum will cover the slider. Off of turn number 4, Nick Baum will get the job done. Jacob Smith will finish second. Bobby Mattingly will round out the top 3. Dane Lloyd 4th, Trevor Mattingly in 5th. As wow, some great racing up front. A lot of respect to those guys. But Nick Baum parking the O2 machine out on the front stretch. Nick Baum picking up the win here tonight from an action-packed race here at Fairbury. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back after the commercial break to talk to our top 3. We head down to the front stretch now to talk to our top 3. First guy we'll be talking to here, I know he'll be excited with this finish tonight. It's the 3M machine of Bobby Mattingly. Bobby, do you got a copy of Spread the Jet in the booth here?
Sir, I sure do.
Alrighty, Bobby. How you feeling after an action-packed race at Fairbury, able to walk away on the podium? That's got to feel pretty good from this 3M team.
Yes, sir, definitely. First few weeks of this deal this fall has been pretty rough, but last couple of weeks kind of turned it around a little bit, been running a little bit better.
Yeah, Bobby, having quite a few heartbreaks, let's say, in those pesky B mains. And tonight, you shake that on off, make your way in from the heat races, also put together a great qualifying effort and walk away on the podium. I mean, this got to give a lot of confidence to you and the team walking away here from race number 5.
Yes, sir. Feels good to talk to you again this year. Been trying to get up here all season. Just had a fortunate few things that happened in those first couple races, but hopefully we've turned it around and can talk to you a lot more.
Yeah, hopefully, Bobby, as it's always a pleasure talking to you. You're one of the greats here, of course, running a lot of seasons with us. Got to thank you for showing on up each and every week. I know some of them can be frustrating, but man, it's all worth it for nights like tonight.
Oh, yes, sir, definitely. Like I said, hopefully we got our season turned around here and can get a whole lot more of these podium finishes and strong runs and maybe contend for a win one of these days.
Yeah, hopefully, as we definitely seen you up front at some races. But here at Fairbury, did you think tonight was going to be one of those nights that we see you towards the front at this track, definitely being a beast of its own?
Well, I kind of like this track. Some people don't like it at all. I usually run fairly decent here. I just like the way the track is shaped and, of course, the history of the track and everything. It's kind of iconic, and I just like running Fairbury.
Yeah, I tell you what, when you get this place down, it is a lot of fun to run. You can rip the lip up on the top side or tiptoe around the bottom. It seemed like Bobby, your place was up near the top. Were you debating it all going to the bottom if it wasn't for probably lap cars?
No, I struggle on the bottom when the track gets a little slick, but I usually run the top here fairly decent, and I think you can keep your momentum up. I pretty much committed to the top, like you said, other than maybe trying to get around a lap car or something like that. But I can't really run the bottom. I don't know if I just don't have enough throttle control to run it smoothly, but I'm more of a topside guy.
Yeah, I tell you what, making that top side work very well for you tonight. You walk away with P number 3, and the first time we're talking to you this season. So maybe for the new fans, Bobby, why don't you tell us what your sim setup's like? What do you got to make this 3M machine so fast?
Well, I got run an Oculus 2 VR headset, a Sim Experience AccuForce wheel, V3 inverted pedals, WR1 Sim chassis. It's not what you got to have. It's just this is my hobby. I used to race cars in real life. Can't afford them anymore, so this is pretty much my race car.
Yeah, I tell you what, a lot cheaper than the real life stuff. You know, you wreck one of these things, hit the reset button. In real life, you know, you're looking at 20 to 30,000 once you're all said and done.
Oh, no doubt, if not more. I mean, some of these guys, I mean, I'm glad for them. It's just I can't do it anymore, and I wish I could, but like I said, this is now my race car. So look, have fun coming in here with these guys and running a competitive series, and I enjoy it a lot.
Yeah, always great to have you out here on the field. Well, Bobby, before we let you go, I know there's a lot of people you got to thank on this 3M machine, so I'm going to hand over the mic to you and thank who you got to thank.
Big Al's Guns, Keltner Contracting, Kentucky. I have a hard time pronouncing it. That's our little team name. It's me and Aaron and Trevor and Tanner and Cam and Jordan, and just a good group of guys that we get together and race during the week and race in this league. We have a good time. Hugo's Trucking, Aaron, FMS Rapid Graphixs, of course, you for putting on the broadcast, and Zach and Tanner and everybody at ARC and Dave. I don't want to forget Dave, and that put the league on, and really appreciate it.
Alrighty, Bobby. Always a pleasure talking to you. Once again, huge congrats on the third place finish. You have yourself a great rest of the night.
Yes, sir. Thank you. You too.
Alrighty, now we head to our runner-up finisher of the night. That will be the 888 machine of Jacob Smith. Thought he may have had something came up oh so close. Jacob, do you got a copy of Spread the Jet in the booth here?
Yes, sir.
Alrighty, Jacob, another podium, but this time got a feel on the heartstrings a little bit for you. It seemed like you had something there for Nick, just ran out of laps.
Yeah, I knew I had a good car after that first caution. You know, I mean, when you're racing at Fairbury, it's going to go to the top no matter what. So I just kept telling myself if I can just stay committed to the top and not, bend the right rear up too much against the wall. I knew I had a good piece of equipment on my hands. So, I mean, it is what it is. We had that late race caution that I did not need. Me and Nick were bound through traffic, and I think if it would have kept green, I think that would have been my only chance to get around Nick. He was just a bit quicker than I was tonight.
Yeah, Bob doing everything he could. He was ripping that top side absolutely perfectly that last run. Jacob, you were finding yourself a little bit of speed, a little bit lower off of corner exit, especially turn number 2. Did you figure that out after the yellow, or did you kind of have that as your ace up your sleeve?
Bit of an ace up the sleeve, I would say. We did a few practice races throughout the week before we came here with the HotLap guys, and I kind of noticed there was always a good enough patch on the bottom of turn 2 that if you can run the cut down just right, you can get a good run. So once I saw the patch had developed and there was still enough, moisture in it, I knew I needed to start hitting it, see if I can get any sort of run on Nick. But it is what it is. I couldn't capitalize it. There's a couple sliders I threw, but I didn't want to park it on his nose. Nick raced me as clean as you can possibly race someone clean here at Fairbury, and I wanted to give him the respect back. So I would much rather finish second, knowing that me and Nick put on a hell of a show.
Yeah, and that you guys did. You guys racing, like you said, a lot of respect between you two and putting on a great close race, no contact between each other. That is impressive, especially here at Fairbury. And as Jacob, I tell you what, you're coming into your own this season. This is, I believe, at least your second podium this season. I mean, where are you finding the speed? You got to be hitting those tests and laps a ton or something, because you're coming out here looking very strong, racing with, of course, some of the best, and now your name part of that conversation.
Yeah, it's pretty cool knowing that, I got you over here saying these things. I got my teammates and a couple of the other guys in this league, just giving me some compliments on how I'm doing. I appreciate it a lot. I think this is the first league that I would say has been the most competitive with, some of the pro names that are in here, and just trying to learn off of them and learn off as much as I can from my team, and, just trying to put those two pieces of advice together. You can put on a good performance. So just trying to learn as much as I can.
Yeah, it's definitely one thing to learn it. You can take all the advice you can, but, to deliver with it is a whole nother thing. And Jacob, you are doing that. It seems like each week that you show on up here at Fairbury, a tough track. Did you have a podium kind of etched in your mind here tonight? How are you feeling coming in tonight?
I felt confident because I knew it was going to be on the top. I knew there was going to be a cushion somewhat developed. So I was already confident in myself that I could, get this, I can get this hot rod up into a top 10, top 5. But, we got lucky with the invert, started pulling the heat, and, just kept the nose clean, got out front, won in. When I saw myself starting front row outside, I knew that if I didn't finish top 3 or top 5, either I hit the wall too hard or I got wrecked. So I was super confident in myself that I could pull off this podium. Just wish it was one spot better.
Yeah, I think a lot of the HotLap Hero boys hoping for that as well. But Jacob, the season you're putting together, I think it may be only a matter of time before we see that car one spot better. Once again, congrats on the second place here tonight. Before we let you go, I'm going to go hand over the mic to you and thank who you got to thank here tonight with the P number 2.
All I gotta thank is my good friends over at the HotLap Heroes. You know, they had a couple of them get into some early accidents, and they kind of pulled off, and they were helping me out in my ear, just trying to let me know where lap traffic was going in Nick. So I gotta give a huge shout out to them. Gotta give a good shout out to my buddy Kenny. He's making me look good when I'm running up front with these guys. So other than that, man, I do gotta thank Marcos Moose Ranch Hair Care and Tire Center. He's our main sponsor, and so other than that, just regroup and try and come back one spot better at I-55.
All righty, Jacob. Best of luck to you here. Once again, congrats on the second place, as we'll let you go and celebrate with the rest of the boys here for the P number 2. Jacob, you have yourself a great rest of the night.
Yes, sir. You as well.
All righty, then we head down trackside for our guy that parked it here on the front stretch. It is Nick Baum finishing one spot better than last week. Nick Baum picking up the win here. Nick, do you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth.
I am here.
All righty, Nick. So walking away tonight, one spot better. You pick up the win. Tell us how you're feeling.
I felt pretty good. I was pretty happy with the way that race turned out. I had a game plan going into the feature, and it executed very well. I kind of told myself that I know all them guys are going to go up there and try to run the top and pull away from everybody, and I just knew if I stayed calm and rode the bottom or middle, I would be there at the end. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah, Nick, and not an easy win for you here tonight. You had a mirror full of the 888. It seemed like for sure the second half of the race. Tell us how that was.
He was there the whole time, the whole feature. He was really good. Like, even when Trevor was leading, he was really good. he could just roll the top so well, and it just looked like he didn't lose any speed even when the tires started to go away there at the end. And he just kept gaining on me every time he'd throw a slider and I could pull off on him. He would just pull right back up to me in 2 laps. So maybe his tires are a little better, or maybe he just had a line figured out that I didn't.
Yeah, he alluded to finding a little bit of speed off of turn number 2, a little bit lower. Said he did a lot of practicing, but Nick, you were on at that last restart. Tell us how nerve-wracking it is for a late race restart inside of 10 laps to go.
Well, personally, I was very happy that caution came out because it was getting real scary behind that lap traffic. The guys we were lapping, they weren't moving. They were just kind of running their race, which is what they're supposed to do. I don't disagree with what they were doing. So I just was trying to figure out a way to get around them because, with that late in the race, everybody's tires are kind of wore out. So it makes it hard to pass them on the bottom. You kind of just have to kind of follow them, and hopefully the guy behind you doesn't pass them before you do.
Yeah, some great racing between you and Smith there. As I tell you what, like I said, awesome battling between you two. A lot of respect too. You guys not really making contact with each other. I think Jacob could have definitely thrown a huge slider after that restart, but played it safe, and you guys ran door to door with no contact for a win.
Yeah, nothing but respect to him. He did race me really clean. Even at the beginning of the feature, we were doored side by side, door to door, and we raced each other clean. I try to race everybody clean that I can. I'll race them how they race me, and I have a lot of respect for a lot of these guys in this league. There's a lot of good people just putting the league on and racing in it, and it's really is a good time.
Yeah, it seemed like a lot of fun out here, Nick. But Nick, you're able to walk away with the win, able to nail that cushion late in the race. You're the highest car with that right rear right there, not pushing it over. I mean, you are picture perfect that last run to the checkered.
Yeah, I have a lot of experience running the top. I prefer to be up there. I was on the bottom for a while tonight, and I feel comfortable at the bottom at these bull rings. But when it's usually them bigger tracks or a track like Fairbury, I like to be up on the cushion, ripping the wall down. So we were able to show what I like to do.
Yeah, Nick, and last week finishing P number 2, you wanted that one spot better. Tonight you get the job done. How does it feel to be in victory lane with some of the cats here in this league?
It actually feels really good because I didn't think I had much of a shot in the points chase after missing the first 2 weeks, but there's still a lot of racing left. So if things keep going like this, I might be there at the end. It just depends with Murtaugh not being here tonight, and we'll just see what happens.
Yeah, big time point shakeup, like you said, Nick, from tonight and looking forward. So, Nick, huge congrats to you here picking up your first win this season. It seems like every season you jump on in, even though the last couple ones select starts from you, still picking up wins in those seasons. You add your name to the list of 3 straight seasons, at least with 1 win.
Yeah, I keep coming in here and somehow I keep getting good runs. Them past seasons, I didn't get to run as much as I did. I wanted to, and I really wanted to run this full season, but I just missed the first 2 weeks, and I knew that starting in Knoxville, I would start running because my Sunday would free up because some of my other leagues weren't running. So happy I could be here full time now.
Yeah, Nick, we're happy to have you in a stellar field here with the American Sim Racing Club Pro Late Models. But Nick, before we let you go and continue to celebrate down in victory lane here at Fairbury, I'm going to go hand over the mic to you and thank who you got to thank down in victory lane tonight.
First off, as always, D1RT, all them guys, they just make me such a better driver, and I'm just turning laps, and they're the brains behind it all. I got to thank CC Food Marts, Klein's Brand Source, Hooker Harness. I got to thank Trevor Magnley, Bobby Magnley, Aaron Kirby, Tanner Hutchins, Jordan Tucker, Justin Thompson, Cameron Tucker, all them guys that are up there in Discord just helping me, with the line and where I need to be. So it's all thanks to them too.
Alrighty, Nick. Well, huge congrats here from the Turn 3 Race Network, picking up your first win this season. Nick, you have yourself a great rest of the night. I'm sure we'll be talking to you some more here in the future.
For sure.
Alrighty, folks, that was tonight's winner, Nick Baum, getting the job done here at Fairbury. Alrighty, folks, we'll wrap things on up and get you out of here at a decent time on this Sunday night, and we'll head over to tonight's race results. Nick Baum picking up his first win of the season in the 002. Second will be the A88, another podium for Jacob Smith this season. Third, going to the 3M of Bobby Magley. Fourth, an impressive run up 8 spots is Dan Lloyd. 5th will go to the 13T of Trevor Manley. 6th, a great rebound by this guy, able to drive it back up towards the front. Justin Thompson in the 98T will finish 6th. 7th, going to the 16 of Tucker Holiday. 8th is Shane Yates in the 11. 9th will be the 01 of Michael Blessings, and rounding out the top 10 is Kenny Haight in the 46. 11th going to Joseph Grandy in the 518. 12th is Dave Payne in the 38. 13th is Stephen Hoffman in the 23. 14th going to the 53 of Cam Tucker, with 15th going to his brother Jordan Tucker in the 66. 16th will be the double H of Tanner Hutchins. 17th will be the 37 of Brandon Marlowe. 18th is Jason Crow in the 27, with 19th going to Cade Gailey in the 27. 20th is the 111 of Clay Atwood. 21st is Nicholas McDougall in the 05, and Aaron Kirby in the 91 will round out tonight's finishing order. So, of course, we got to thank all the sponsors you see on the right side of your screen here, folks. Horsepower Happenings, TNT Racing Engines, American All-Star Crate Late Model Series Pay to Win Setups, FMS Rapid Graphixs, and HotLap Heros. I've been Brett the Jet from Turn 3 Racing Network. Be sure to check out Turn 3 throughout the week, as we have a lot of great series, a lot of great broadcasters, and a lot of great virtual racing action. Be sure to check out on the Sunday nights our next Turn 3 product from the American Sim Racing Club Pro Late Model Series will be in 2 weeks. That is October 22nd from I-55 Speedway, where these guys will have another 75 lappers. So once again, thanks again all the live viewers tuning on in here, and all the replay viewers coming in here after and taking a look at the race in action. Everyone, take care, stay safe, have a great 2 weeks, and we'll catch you back on October 22nd. And I've been Brett the Jet in the booth, and I just flew by you. Have a good one.